Señores, bienvenidos a Punto G y hoy, para cerrar la semana, les tengo la segunda parte de este video informativo del juego The Walking Dead. Nuevamente los diseñadores Jake Rodkin y Sean Bannerman hablan sobre los detalles del juego, su estilo gráfico y cómo será su distribución, entre otras cosas. The Walking Dead estará disponible en primavera de este año para PlayStation Network, Xbox Live y PC.
Being that it's a zombie game, we've obviously seen a lot of different kinds of zombie games, but what is Telltale's spin on this? What is the gameplay like?
Like, on the very basic level, you're going to be walking around like a beautiful 3D space that's inspired by the work of the comics. You're going to be interacting with characters and solving problems and sort of driving Lee through this story. But a thing that is different for this game, that, as opposed to any other Telltale game, is like choice is a real thing that's going to hang on not just for your episode. Like if you save somebody's life in the beginning of the episode, they're going to be with you. They're going to be with you at the end.
But also then even in subsequent episodes.
Yeah, and those choices are going to carry with you month to month. And we think that's something that's really cool, especially in a world that's so morally ambiguous, like we were just saying. Most zombie games are really about this, like, the fantasy of the apocalypse. Like, you are this, like, unkillable survival machine that shoots anything that comes near you, and they're all sort of, like, nameless, faceless, just the horde, you know?
This, basically.
Yeah,
yes.
That's really, like, it's kind of antithetical to what, like, a zombie movie is, which is never about the fantasy of the apocalypse, about the horror of the apocalypse. And, like, when you don't have an endless supply of ammo, and the zombies that are in front of you aren't nameless and faceless, and are, like, your brother, and are your friend, and are, like, the guy who worked in the store across the street. Everything you're doing is because you're trying to move Lee through this narrative, and you're trying to, like, delve deeper into, like, what's motivating these people to survive, or like where are they going next. And
It's not a headshot game. It's not a game where you're like you're mowing down zombies.
it would be inaccurate with the books if you killed a bunch of zombies on day one. What's really important for us is that you really feel every zombie, that the impact of having to end this thing's life.
And we want to present a lot of this stuff in a way that you as a player, even as someone who's maybe played other zombie games or seen a zombie movie, the fact that you have to go through these actions with such specificity with this, this particular zombie, we actually want people who are desensitized to be surprised to discover that they're not, actually.
So the game has a really unique look, which we'll talk about in later episodes, but what exactly inspired what you guys have arrived at? Where did the look come from?
The comic book has a pretty bold, specific look that everyone who reads the book seems to respond to. It's got that really heavy graphic style, lots of darks, lots of really thick line work. It feels really hand-drawn. It also lets them really get into the sort of gross stuff that happens in there in a way that is really affecting.
Well, Charlie Adler's work isn't too clean, and that's something that really informed the art style. Like,
yeah.
All of his work is like really organic feeling, and like you'll see a stray line here or there, but like we sat down with art director Derek Sakai early on and said, like, wouldn't it be cool if we just took the principles of like 2D art and just said, to heck with it, we're just going to put it right into the 3D art and see what it looks like.
Yo soy Mario Lozano y los espero el domingo a los ganadores en Mune para el evento de PlayStation Vita.
Really thick line work. It feels really hand-drawn. It also lets them really get into the sort of gross stuff that happens in there in a way that is really affecting.